issues, and even the COVID-19 pandemic. Plus, party politics. How former Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis claims he's not allowed to speak at F&M events, saying it's leadership policy. Then, hear the other side, as party leadership says the allegation is not true. And planning for tomorrow. Learn about new innovative solutions to environmental challenges presented by students in a local science fair competition. Then in our news at 7:30, we travel to Inagua with government officials for the assessment of Oscar's impact. Find out how many homes officials say were damaged post the roller coaster storm. All that and more. Our News Live at 7 starts now. Welcome to Our News Live at 7. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Marlena Leonard, in for Candino Knowles. Residents across the country are having strong reactions to the statistics revealed in the latest census. Many people keyed into the numbers around the decline in the youth demographic. One of the biggest changes seen in the marriage statistics, where legal separation saw a 75.6% increase compared to the numbers in 2010.
People they don't commit to trying to solve. It's easier to get rid of something than fix it.
That's the reaction to the over 75% jump in people saying they're legally separated compared to 2010's figures. And while divorce rates are up as well, some people are opting not to get married at all. In fact, the never married group increased by 18.2% compared to 2010.
It appears younger persons don't see the need to get married, as persons probably in my age group would have considered. But that all goes back to biblical teaching and your upbringing and what you consider, important. And certainly today's young people don't consider it as important, probably as we did back then. But marriage is still, God's way of couples getting together.
Janet Fowler also says she feels like the struggling marriage statistics could be an indication of the Bahamian public straying further from Christian principles. As for the decline in birth rates, she says,
we are mostly selfish. I don't need that, and the examples that are around us, the sacrifice, and there is contraceptions available. Why should I have a child? And so we're not committed to that. That's giving up of self. And so birth rate, good job, because people some do positive things, some do negative things. Some young people are getting an education. They want to be self-sufficient. A child takes most of your life, and so there are a lot of facets that are there.
But for Lucinda Moxie, she says she feels COVID has had a big impact on a lot of people's relationships and priorities, and that when it comes to people choosing to remain child-free, it may be as simple as looking outside and seeing the amount of hardship going on in the country.
Children go into school, they're not taken care of properly. People have to go all over the place looking for jobs. You walk the street, you see how many people, they're not mentally stable. How could you have children bring another problem in the world on top of your head?
The former leader of the opposition Free National Movement is tonight claiming he's being silenced within his party, while the former Prime Minister is taking exception with what he says he feels is an intentional policy. Megan Shepherd tells us the party's current chairman is refuting those allegations.
I'm a member of the Free National Movement, but yes, I am not allowed to speak at any F&M functions. I am not allowed to speak at any association.
That's former Prime Minister and former leader of the Free National Movement, Dr. Hubert Minnis, outside of Parliament Wednesday morning addressing party concerns. Dr. Minnis says his inability to speak in certain forums has caused issues in the past. He claims it's the party's current policy, but he was never given a reason as to why he's not allowed to speak.
A lot of F&M business I would prefer not to speak, but I would basically have ideas, but that's their policy. That's their policy. That's the leadership policy. I am not able to speak at any F&M event or association meeting.
And as to whether or not he feels slighted, particularly as a former party leader.
The answer is yes. The answer is absolutely yes. Not only me, but I don't think any F&M should be subjected to that. None.
Now, we also reached out to party chairman Dr. Dwayne Sands. He contends that allegations made by Dr. Minnis are absolutely untrue, calling it an unfortunate distraction.
Why any member of the opposition would shine a spotlight on their own personal concerns when the people of the Bahamas are more concerned with a government that has once again seriously damaged the reputation of this country and once again poised us as a nation for sale. It's absolutely beyond me. But that said, let us be very clear. There is no moratorium, no restriction, no limit on Dr. Minister's ability to speak.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Megan Shepard.
A woman who's accused North Abaco MP of rape, assault, and threats of death approached police about withdrawing her complaint while the matter was under investigation, a Supreme Court jury heard. Prosecutors say the woman who once dated Kurt Cornish later had a change of heart and decided to proceed with the matter. Superintendent Nicholas Johnson made the revelations during his testimony at Cornish's trial. Johnson said he questioned Cornish about the allegations and later charged him after he received instructions from the DPP's office. The physician claimed that Cornish poked her in her eye and choked her before he threatened to shoot her on January 20th, 2023. Cornish is accused of raping the woman on March 5th, 2023, while in New Providence, after he allegedly threatened her with a knife. On April 4th, 2023, Cornish is accused of raping the woman at her home in Cooperstown, Abaco. The trial continues before Justice Renee McKay on Friday. And this morning, if you were on Marathon Road in the area of C.I. Gibson High School, chances are you would have noticed police and an ambulance in the City Lumberyard parking lot. Several viewers called in to alert our news to the scene, not sure of what had taken place. When we arrived on the scene, we found 2 police trucks and several police officers in the yard, where the body of a man was slumped over on the side of the building and covered with white tarp. Sources telling us that shortly after 7 a.m., an employee from City Lumberyard arrived to work and met the man slumped over on the side of the building and immediately called police. EMS personnel were called and pronounced the man dead on the scene. The hearse eventually arrived shortly after 8 a.m. to remove the body. When our news reached out to police, they confirmed the matter was classified as a sudden death of a vagrant and that no foul play was suspected. Private school students across the Bahamas gathered at Queen's College for the Bahamas Association of Independent Secondary Schools Science Fair competition. The focus was climate change. Students presented innovative solutions to environmental challenges like rising sea levels and extreme storms. Delvardo Emmanuel spoke to students and teachers and filed this report.
What we're looking for is that students have a very strong understanding of climate change and what it is. They're very practical experiments with respect to climate change, and also they follow basic principles of scientific methodology.
The fair comes at a crucial time. The Bahamas is among the most at-risk countries for sea level rise, storm surges, and hurricanes. Students' projects aim to address just that, ranging from renewable energy and coastal protection.
We've created a presentation on how climate change impacts pine forests in the Bahamas. We looked at how climate change can lead to stronger hurricanes and stronger forest fires, and how those two factors destroy pine forests in the Bahamas, and what we can do to prevent it.
Jasmine Albury and a team from Aquinas College designed a hurricane cooler device.
Whenever a hurricane is coming, and when it's in it'll send off a signal to the satellite, and when it sends a signal to the satellite, we will get it, and we will know that, hey, a hurricane is coming. So what will happen is we'll send off the device, it'll be remote controlled, and we'll put it in the path of the hurricane to cool down the water so that the hurricane doesn't intensify.
These students aren't just coming up with ideas, they're thinking critically about how to protect their communities in the long term.
You know, we are the future generation, right? And if we don't do something now, and it will never be done, we won't have a home here. There will be no such as the Bahamas. Atlantis will turn into a real reality. So it's really important for us to obviously raise awareness, but also just do more things. Talking is not enough.
Environment Minister Vaughn Miller highlighted the importance of nurturing these young minds in addressing climate change.
Events like this are critically important. You get to be among, you get to address some of the best and the brightest young minds in our country, and you get to speak to them. You have their full attention, and you sow seeds in their minds, in their spirits.
As climate change continues to affect the Bahamas, events like this science fairs underscore the crucial role young people can play in shaping our country's environmental future. Reporting for Our News, I'm Delvardo Emmanuel.
Thanks, Alvardo. Well, with climate on the mind, it's now time for your first look at temperatures. Meteorologist Greg Thompson is standing by in the Weather Center. Greg?
Wish I had known about that science fair. Those are some good topics, and of course, those are the folks we want to catch, the young ones, so they can help to curb this problem. But climate change is a very important topic that we should be discussing. Speaking of climate and change, not much change this evening. 82 degrees is outside right now. Few clouds, little on the breezy side still. Northeast winds at 13 miles per hour. Feels like temperature is at 80 degrees. Temperatures around the islands right now. 80 in Freeport, Marsh, Harbour, Abaco. Pick up 81 in Alistown, Bimini. Nickel, San Andres, Great Harbour Key, over in Governor's Harbour here in the capital, all 82s. Into the central Bahamas, 83 in Kemps Bay, Georgetown. Pick up another set of 82s in Arthurstown, Cat Island, Deadman's Key. Coburn Town, San Salvador, 81 with some nearby showers. 82 in Duncan Town, Ragged Island, and in Abrahams Bay. Colonel Hill, Cricket Island, Delectable Bay, 83s. Providenciales, Tricks and Caicos Islands, and Matthew Town, Inagua, pure of 84s down there at this hour. Satellite radar composite, quiet across area. Much change, much improved weather, I should say, across our area. We still have some trailing moisture across the southeast Bahamas, or very near the southeast Bahamas, generating a couple isolated showers. That's what's left of that storm that was across us. Dry air mass invading us. That's going to continue to provide us with some very nice conditions over the next couple of days. So it's good to get outside and enjoy the weather. Temperatures will be in the mid to upper 80s, and those nighttime temperatures will be a very comfortable mid to upper 70s. That's your first look at weather. Stick with us. So look at your extended forecast is still to come.
Still to come on Our News, top teams arrive in Nassau for the Caribbean Baseball Cup. Team Bahamas set to face USVI in an opening night clash. Plus, Exuma makes history with the first ever primary school soccer tournament. We'll tell you the school that claimed the victory when Our News returns.
Hey, Greg Thompson here, and thank you for watching. Be sure to hit that follow button. And if you want to see more content like this, follow all of our news social media pages. And hey, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the top stories from the team you already trust.
Catch the Charlie Bahama Show this week where we have It's Your Girl Wendy. Either we're here or we're in New York.
Well, where you want us to be? I want to be there.
Let me put some in my mouth. I won't say nothing wrong. Anyway.
It's always so good to talk to you, Charlie. Oh my gosh.
Charlie Bahama Show every Friday night, 8 p.m. right here on Cable Bahamas Channel 212.
Up. On down the Rev Up Top 7. Get ready to rev up. Are you ready?
This November 5th, millions of Americans will decide in a race that will define history. Kamala Harris and Donald Trump in a fight to the finish.
Perhaps not since the Civil War has this great country felt as politically, spiritually, and emotionally divided as it does.
Welcome to Our Sports at 7, presented by 10th Year Seniors. I'm Ronaldo Dorset. That's John Mark Nutt. Let's do show. The top senior men's national teams in the region are in the capital right now for the 6th Caribbean Baseball Cup. This week, the Bahamas, who's ranked number 47 by the World Baseball Softball Confederation, will host number 9 ranked and defending champions Cuba, number 12 ranked Dominican Republic, number 26 ranked and 2-time champion Curacao, number 66 ranked U.S. Virgin Islands, and St. Martin. The opening ceremony is tonight, and immediately following the pomp and pageantry we all love, Team Bahamas will hit the field to take on USVI in the nightcap. Tournament play is a single round robin, and after 5 games, the 3rd and 4th place finishers will play for bronze, while the first 2 teams will compete for the title on October 28.
Kentwan Smith highlighted an active week for Bahamian hoopers across Europe. In Cypher Opera's Basket League, Smith had 25 points, 13 rebounds, 5 block shots, and a perfect day from the field to lead Anathorsis to a 94-74 win over Apuel. Over in Spain's First League, Travis Munnings nearly had a perfect day for Fren Labarda in the 94-74 win over Costello. On to a pair of first-year players in Spain's Second League, Garvin Clark finished with 9 points and 5 assists for Godella in the 84-83 loss to Bennett Carlo. Franco Miller Jr. finished with 11 points and 6 rebounds off the bench for Palmer in their 85-62 loss to Gran Canaria.
School sports in Exuma had a milestone moment when the island hosted its first ever primary school soccer tournament. Georgetown Primary School emerged as champions in the inaugural event hosted at the Ellen Coakley High School grounds in Morristown. That'll do it for our sports. Stay tuned to Our News at 7:30 for details on these stories and more.
When Our News comes back from the break, we turn our spotlight to stories making headlines across the world, as the CDC issues a food safety alert as McDonald's Quarter Pounders linked to an E. coli outbreak, 1 death reported and 49 others affected in 10 states. Plus, police clash with gangs in Haiti's capital as a violent siege continues. Residents flee Port-au-Prince. And China holds live fire drills near Taiwan as tensions escalate in the Taiwan Strait. We'll show you the video when Our News returns.
This November 5th, millions of Americans will decide in a race that will define history. Kamala Harris and Donald Trump in a fight to the finish.
Perhaps not since the Civil War has this great country felt as politically, spiritually, and emotionally divided as it does then at this moment.
The world is watching, and so are we. Starting November 3rd, Our News is live from the U.S. with a Bahamian perspective, because Our News is everywhere, always there when it counts.
Hey y'all, are you ready to be inspired? I am thrilled to announce that Inspire Her 2024 is coming, and it's going to be bigger and better than ever. Join us at the luxurious Atlantis Hotel Paradise Island on October 10th for an evening filled with inspiration, empowerment, and connection. The evening session promises to offer exclusive networking opportunities and transformative discussion. We invite everyone to attend and to be part of this incredible gathering. Hear from leading women activists, entrepreneurs, CEOs, thought leaders, and more as they share their stories, insights, and wisdom. Tickets are now available for purchase through the Alive Events app. Corporate packages and vendor opportunities are also available, providing a unique platform for businesses to showcase their support and connect with a diverse audience. Grab your girlfriends, mark your calendars for October 10th, and join us at the Inspire Her 2024 Women's Conference. See you there.
This is Our News. Welcome back. We turn our attention now to stories making headlines across the world. The Centers for Disease Control has issued a food safety alert linked to McDonald's Quarter Pounders due to an E. coli outbreak affecting at least 49 people across 10 states, including 1 death. McDonald's has reportedly removed slivered onions and Quarter Pounder patties from stores in several states, as the onions are suspected to be the source of contamination. While other menu items remain unaffected, McDonald's says it's working to resolve the issue with suppliers. Lebanon's Hezbollah announced Tuesday that it would not enter negotiations with Israel while fighting continues and claimed sole responsibility for a drone attack on Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's holiday home. Hezbollah's media head, Mohammed Afif, confirmed the attack and described it as an assassination attempt, which Netanyahu called a grave mistake. Hezbollah also acknowledged that some of its fighters were captured during Israel's ground offensive in southern Lebanon and warned it could soon capture Israeli soldiers. And in Haiti, police clashed with gunmen on Monday in Salino, one of the few remaining areas of Port-au-Prince not controlled by gangs. Haitian authorities say the community has been under siege since Thursday, with residents fleeing amid threats from the gang coalition Vive Asanam. Haiti's national police have regained some control of some areas but continue to pursue gang members. Prime Minister Gary Conille held an emergency meeting and ordered the redeployment of elite police and military units. Surgery schedules across the U.S. may be delayed due to a supply shortage after Hurricane Helene forced the shutdown of Baxter International's North Carolina plant, which produces 60% of the nation's IV solutions. Hospitals are reportedly conserving fluids and postponing non-emergency surgeries while waiting for supplies. Baxter reportedly aims to resume phased production by year's end, but no timeline is set for returning to pre-hurricane levels. And China is conducting live fire drills off the coast of Fujian province near Taiwan following recent large-scale military exercises aimed at the island. The Maritime Safety Administration issued a notice warning ships to avoid the area near the Pingtan Islands, but provided few details. Taiwan's defense ministry stated it was monitoring the drills, which are part of China's annual exercises, and suggested they may be intended to increase deterrence in the Taiwan Strait. Tensions between China and Taiwan have escalated, with Beijing claiming sovereignty over the self-ruled island. In response, the U.S. and its allies, including Canada and Germany, have conducted freedom of navigation transits through the Taiwan Strait, maintaining a presence in the region amid growing Chinese military activity. Meanwhile, Cuba is still struggling with nationwide power outages. On Friday, the island's main energy plant failed and knocked out electricity for 10 million people ahead of Hurricane Oscar. The storm, which made landfall there Sunday, killed at least 6 people, according to authorities. Oscar has since dissipated and rescue efforts are underway. Ryan Chang reports on the pre-existing power struggles.
Cuba's President Miguel Diaz-Canel on TV told people to remain united and urged caution to residents from misinformation on social media. The blackout comes as residents are also suffering from shortages of food, fuel, water, and medicine. Officials blamed the outage on deteriorating infrastructure, fuel shortages, and rising demand. Cuba has long blamed U.S. Cold War-era embargo and sanctions under former President Donald Trump for difficulties in acquiring fuel and spare parts to operate its oil-fired plants. The country's largest oil supplier, Venezuela, has also reduced shipments in the first 9 months of the year, while Russia and Mexico have also greatly reduced fuel shipments to the island.
Still to come in our news, Today in History. Find out interesting facts about the day that was October 23rd. Then in our news at 7:30, 85% of homes damaged in Inagua after Hurricane Oscar slams the island. Residents in Matthewtown grateful no lives lost. We'll tell you the latest assessment, but first, 75% of Bahamians live in Nassau, a new census report shows. But the acting Prime Minister says he sees hope for Family Islands despite a drop in population. That's coming up when Our News returns.
Yo, what's good, my loyal viewers? Ronaldo Dorset of 10YS here. First of all, thanks so much for watching, but be sure to hit that follow button. If you'd like to see more content like this, follow all of the Our News social media pages, and of course, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the top stories from the team, well, from the teams you already trust.
My name is Atrevi Williams. I've been a live fiber customer since March 2024. The installation process was seamless, effortless, and extremely fast. The gentlemen that came to the installation were very helpful, reliable, very knowledgeable, and the time allocated to do the installation was shorter than the time specified. Yeah, the previous provider I had, I noticed that the internet speed actually had intermittent on the services, so I was very grateful that the live fiber was available in my area. Once I was able to make the switch, my service and everything I needed was satisfied.
On this day in Bahamian history in 1945, Bernard Nottage was born in Nassau. Nottage was a doctor, politician, athlete, social and political activist. He was a medical practitioner specializing in obstetrics and gynecology at Princess Margaret Hospital and St. Luke's Medical Center. In his political career, he would represent the Progressive Liberal Party as a member of Parliament for the constituencies of Kennedy, Garden Hills, and Bain and Grantstown. He served in a number of cabinet posts, including Education, Consumer Affairs, and Minister of National Security. He died in Florida on June 28, 2017, and on July 14 that year was given a state funeral at St. Agnes Anglican Church. And in 2015, 2,000 employees of the then stalled mega resort Baha Mar were laid off. This after the Supreme Court granted Joint Provisional Liquidators approval to release the workers. Staff were advised of their status by notice to their individual email addresses or communication from supervisors. 4 months earlier, Baha Mar and 14 of its affiliated companies filed for bankruptcy in a Delaware court, blaming the resort's contractor, China Construction America, for the construction delays.
Best of the Best Quality Chicken, better known as BBQ Chicken, officially opened in the Carmichael Village Road Plaza on Tuesday. The Korean fried chicken restaurant brand has locations all over the world, with the Bahamas being the 57th country. Bahamian co-owner Sean Davis told Our News that while living in Atlanta, he tried BBQ Chicken and realized it'd be a great product for New Providence. The process to opening took a year, and he's excited to open up more locations on the island. When asked about keeping the quality consistent and empowering Bahamians, he had this to say.
There is no watered down process in BBQ. So all sauce originate direct from Korea. All our products originate direct from Korea. So any way you try BBQ, it'll be the same anywhere around the world. I wanted to come back to empower Bahamians. So we're not only just opening restaurants, but we are offering franchises to people who want to get into the BBQ business, who wants to be a part of our family.
Well, to watch that story again and for all of today's top stories, you can visit ournews.bs. That does it for Our News at 7. Joining us now is our Italia Hall with the latest headlines. Italia?
Marlena, have you tried BBQ chicken?
I haven't yet.
I did. It was good.
Ooh, okay,
it was good. It was really, really good. I would try it again.
Yeah.
So check it out.
Definitely. I'll put that on the list.
All right. Well, government set to explore new technology for pothole patching. And if you're fed up, find out new ways for a permanent fix. Here are your latest headlines. First tonight on Our News Live at 7:30, the Disaster Risk Management Authority traveling to several islands in the south and central Bahamas today for a post-assessment following the passage of Tropical Storm Oscar. Plus, cabinet ministers weighing in on the original developer of the Baha Mar Resort's victory in a New York Supreme Court. Also, a man accused of committing a murder outside a bar denied bail for the second time in a Supreme Court. And later, we introduce you to the technical arm of the Grand Bahama Port Authority during tonight's City in Focus, when Our News Live at 7:30 returns.
Candino Notes here, and thank you so much for watching. Be sure and hit that follow button if you want to see more stories like this. Be sure and follow all of the Our News social media pages. And hey, don't forget, turn on your notifications so you never miss out on top stories from the team you already trust.
Bahamas, are you ready? Keep the vibe alive. Music group, along with Alpha Sounds, present the best of the best. Rake and Scrape Explosion Reloaded. This is the biggest one-day all-Bahamian concert of the year. Featuring KB, D-Mac, Abby, Mama D, Fan Shaw, Shine 242, The Falcon, and more. Mark your calendars. It's going down November the 2nd at Super Club Races Ground. Tickets now available at BahamasEtickets.com or both Beauty Shack location. General admission $60. VIP, Skybox, and Skypods also available. For more info, call 394-0819 or email keepthevibealive242@gmail.com. Experience the magic once again with more legends for one night only. Come party with us November 2nd at Best of the Best. Rake and Scrape Explosion Reloaded.
Grand Bahama is home to a unique economic arrangement, with that arrangement between government and the Grand Bahama Port Authority under scrutiny as tensions persist.
It's not our direct responsibility to carry out these other things that people think we should be doing.
We need this to be dealt with quicker than quicker and sooner than sooner.
Welcome to Our News. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Italia Hall. Well, we are learning about what officials are calling level 1 damage following Hurricane Oscar's impact on Inagua. The storm developed in a matter of hours from a depression into a Category 1 over the weekend, causing flooding and roof damage. Our Joshua Williams is on the island today for an assessment. We'll have more on that story in just a bit. But first, tonight, more high-ranking members of the Davis administration are weighing in on a court ruling that awarded over $1.6 billion in damages to Baha Mar's original developer, Sarkis Ismailian. They're shooting down claims it could have an impact on future investors. This, as a former prime minister says, there needs to be a probe into the matter. Our Delvardo Emmanuel reports.
I don't think so. I think this is a sideshow between two private parties. This will run its course in the courts.
That's Acting Prime Minister and Minister of Tourism, Investments and Aviation Chester Cooper, addressing concerns about the potential impact the Baha Mar case could have on foreign investment. His comments come after a New York judge awarded Sarkis Ismailian $1.6 billion. Justice Andre Barak ruled that China Construction America engaged in what he describes as a sham and shakedown, leaving the Ismailian family $845 million in the red. Without commenting on the details of the ruling, Cooper stressed the government's dedication to creating an investor-friendly environment. He also added that he doesn't see the fallout having any impact on the mega resort.
We anticipate that November and December will be very strong, and we're looking forward to a very strong close of the year.
Now the ruling also getting backlash from the opposition.
I think we need a commission inquiry to look. The Bahamas is getting a black eye. Getting a black eye over this entire event.
In a separate statement, opposition leader Michael Pintard called for an independent investigation, stating that the opposition does not trust the current administration to carry out a fair and impartial probe. PLP Chairman Fred Mitchell fired back, accusing Pintard of turning against his own.
Instead of supporting his constituents and Bahamians, he went leaping to the defense of the Grand Bahama Port Authority and had to be dragged kicking and screaming to the table by Kwesi Thompson and Iram Lewis, his fellow MPs. What a shame.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Delvardo Emmanuel.
Well, a man accused of killing a man outside a bar last December has been denied bail a second time. Samuel Meadows, 32, is accused of fatally shooting Keith Barr outside of the Blitz bar on December 16. Police said that an argument between the two men inside the bar spilled outside and ended with Keith Barr being fatally shot. Meadows initially refused bail in March by Justice Neil Brathwaite in March. Justice Brathwaite rejected Meadows' bail application today after finding that there had not been a change in circumstances. The latest statistics from the 2022 census revealing a surprise for Bahamian Roman Catholics as they found themselves no longer in the top 3 religious groups in the country, while the Baptist denomination held its number 1 spot, seeing a 10.9% increase over the 2010 figure. Roman Catholic numbers saw a 17.8% decrease, causing their numbers to come in just below the new third place holder, non-denominational Christians. Senior pastor of Life Changers Ministries International, Bishop Valentino Williams, says it's a sign of the times.
I think one of the reasons persons are straying away from the mainstream denominations is simply because they want something different. They want something new. That doesn't mean anything is wrong with the mainstream denominations, but we're living in the 21st century, and there are so many things that have changed. The entire world is evolving, and people's way of thinking, their opinions, their lifestyles. And so if the mainstream does not accommodate their particular way of living, their particular way of the way they want ministry to be done, then they're going to gravitate to what pretty much meets their need. And I think that's the long and short of what's happening there.
In response to the recent census data from the Bahamas National Statistical Institute reveals that 75% of the country's population lives in New Providence. Islands like Grand Bahama, Abaco, Long Island, and Cat Island saw population decline since 2010. Acting Prime Minister Chester Cooper, who serves as an island MP, acknowledged the trend. However, he emphasized the growth in other family islands, expressing optimism about their potential for recovery and development.
As there become more and more opportunities in these family islands for jobs and economic opportunity, we expect that family islanders will continue to go back. The reality is that many of us who are from family islands wish that we could spend more time there. Quite frankly, I wish I could live in Exuma and work from there. Sometimes the requirements of our commitments to the country or commitment to our jobs and businesses require us to be in Nassau, in the main economic hub. But we see many people returning to Grand Bahama We see the economy of Exuma has been growing for the last 10 years very robustly, and many of the other islands as well.
Well, level 1 damage, that's how officials are describing Hurricane Oscar's impact on the small community of Matthewtown, Inagua. The storm developed in a matter of hours from a depression into a Category 1 over the weekend, causing flooding and roof damage. Today, residents said they are grateful no lives were lost. Our Joshua Williams is reporting from Inagua, where he traveled to the island today with government officials to assess the damage.
Residents and officials on the island of Inagua are counting their blessings following the passage of Hurricane Oscar over the weekend. That storm bringing adverse weather to the island over the weekend, dumping rain along with heavy gusts of wind. I accompanied Disaster Risk Management Authority officials and cabinet ministers as they assessed the damage, and the storm left its mark. Portions of fencing at the airport were blown down along with shingle damage to several homes. Officials telling our news that about roughly 92 of the 169 homes received minor damage. Disaster and Recovery Minister Leon Lundy says recovery efforts are underway.
Relief supplies are already en route, and the RBDF's boat, Lawrence Major, is loaded and will be arriving with more aid in the coming days. We've also brought in some initial resources with us today to be distributed to those in need.
Take a look at this footage here. Residents in the community coming together to pump gallons of brackish water left behind from the heavy rainfall dumped on the island, forming this makeshift lake. We also visited the all-age school. Its power now just restored days after the storm.
We had damages to the roof of the office area as well as the science lab. We had some shingles lost and water leakage to the buildings.
George Harris runs a radio show. He kept residents informed.
And about 4 in the morning, like about 10 minutes to 4, the power went off with the generator, so I ceased broadcasting. About 3 o'clock, the rain came hard and we were hearing thunder, lightning. So looking outside, there was nothing you could see.
Now, Island Administrator Herman Gilbert said he himself suffered damage to his home. He also said there were times when residents had to be rescued and brought to this hurricane shelter.
We had up to like 13 persons that came into the shelter immediately when shelter was activated. When that hurricane came upon us and hit landfall, then that's when a lot more damages start to begin, and persons' homes got compromised, and hence they called for help.
Acting Prime Minister Chester Cooper promised the community that relief won't stop with today's trip. Reporting from Matthewtown, Inagua for Our News, I'm Joshua Williams.
All right, thanks so much for that, Joshua. We're still keeping a close eye on the tropics as we still have a little over a month left for the hurricane season. Meteorologist Greg Thompson is up now with your first look at weather. Greg.
38 days left.
38 days left.
We're counting down. The National Hurricane Center is actually watching the southwestern Caribbean for some potential for development. Actually, a low is expected to form, but that's next weekend. So still got some time, and we still have, almost 90% of the hurricane season or systems have already formed. Beautiful conditions outside our studios though, 81 degrees. We took 1 degree off. Few clouds, it's breezy. Winds picked up a little, northeast at 14 miles per hour. Feels like temperature is at 80 degrees. Satellite radar composite, much improved conditions across the area. High pressure is in charge, and that high pressure is continuing to provide us with some very nice conditions. We do have some spotty showers just between Grand Baha Mar and the east coast of Florida, but most of those will be moving into the Florida area as we still have that northeasterly wind flow. We expect those winds to fall off some more as the week goes on, but by the end of the week, windy conditions across the southeast Bahamas, but nice conditions to get out on the outside and enjoy. Temperatures will be in the mid to upper 80s. Low temperatures at night will be in the mid actually to upper 70s. That's a quick check on conditions around the island. Stick with us to look at the tropics, and your extended forecast is still to come.
Still to come in our news, we introduce you to the technical arm of the Grand Bahama Port Authority during tonight's City in Focus, and government looking at new technology to rectify the issue of potholes. The story when our news returns. Grand Bahama is home to a unique economic arrangement, with that arrangement between government and the Grand Bahama Port Authority under scrutiny as tensions persist.
It's not our direct responsibility to carry out these other things that people think we should be doing.
We need this to be dealt with quicker than quicker and sooner than sooner.
I have a vision for Grand Bahama, and my vision is actually bigger than my grandfather's ever was.
Watch City in Focus, the story of Freeport with Italia Hall, starting August 7th only on RTV.
I love my EV. I am Generation E.
I am Generation E. I am Generation E.
And I am Generation E.
Energy conservation is the decision and practice of using less energy. Energy efficiency means using less energy to perform the same task. Turning off lights when you leave a room. Unplugging appliances not in use. People conserve to gain more control over their energy bill and to reduce demand on the Earth's natural resources. Bahamas Power and Light Company Limited looks forward to helping our customers eliminate wasted energy. Take this journey with us as we build for better. BPL.
I'm Michaela Kerr. I'm an 18-year-old freshman at the University of the Bahamas, and I'm a computer science major. I'm also the NT Corporation's Youth Ambassador for the Environment, and I'm an environmentalist. My journey as the environmental advocate began with a simple yet profound realization that our environment is degrading right in front of my eyes. And being NT's Youth Ambassador for the Environment means that my words and my actions hold the power to help change the environment and the world around me. I find it exciting that I can be a student, live my life, and use my words and my voice to change the environment and the world around me. Most times I think it's a privilege. It's our environment and it's our generation to own. I don't think as a young person that there's anything more rewarding than being a part of bringing awareness. I'm Michaela Kerr, and I'm making a difference in my own words.
Tonight, we continue our series, City in Focus, the story of Freeport. We highlight the dedicated individuals working behind the scenes to ensure the smooth functioning of the Grand Bahama Port Authority and the City of Freeport. In this report, we hear from the Vice President of the Building and Development Department.
So I think I celebrated my 18th anniversary this year. Came to the company as the environmental manager. The company at that time decided to develop an environmental section.
Nakira Wilchcomb serves as the Vice President of the Building and Development Department at the Grand Bahama Port Authority, a role crucial to the organization. But what exactly does the department encompass? It is the technical arm of the Port Authority overseeing geographical information services, city maintenance, environmental building, and town planning.
We make up that technical force for the company when persons who are wanting to build, wanting to renovate, wanting to see greater maintenance in the city. This is the department that they would normally come to enact all of those functions.
The department also launched initiatives like Keep Grand Bahama Clean. Wilchcomb stresses behind the scenes there is a dedicated team of professionals working tirelessly.
They can see daily when they go on their roads that we're paying attention to the needs of the city. Secondly, we also welcome investors onto our island. We want them to understand that city is a place that's open for business.
One of the concerns raised by residents, dilapidated buildings within the city, an issue that falls under the Building and Development Department. Wilchcomb says her team is aware of the concerns and through their legal department have proposed legislation to help strengthen environmental management.
This has been a sore area for us. Because we have depended on the owners of these buildings to also cooperate in the absence of the necessary teeth to also cooperate with us. We have been willing to do the demolitions at no cost to the owners, but to recoup it once the property has been sold.
She says they will remain constant in their efforts. And when asked about her inspiration, Wilchcomb shares,
I love when persons can call me, and it does not matter who they are, that I can help them, that I can listen to them and understand their needs and offer some solution. And so that's my motivation every day, for someone out there to get a satisfactory nod to say, okay, we listened to their cries and we've answered their cries and an issue has been resolved.
All right, good news. Well, for residents who may be fed up with potholes on our streets, the Ministry of Works and Family Island Affairs says they're looking for new ways to find a permanent fix to the age-old issue. Residents over the years have complained about the issue, many taken to social media, often sharing that it's difficult to navigate roads with so many potholes, especially on rainy days. Works and Family Island Affairs Minister Clay Sweeting says ministry officials have heard and seen the frustration, explaining that a number of potholes need to be redone as a result of unpredictable weather.
the ministry is looking at newer technologies to improve not just on our infrastructure, but on the pothole patching program. So this material, which is an overlay over the hot patch material, would hope to be utilized to decrease water infiltration and for the potholes to last longer. So this product is tested currently in the US and in the UK, and we will be running a testing pilot program in the next few weeks to see whether or not this material is feasible.
Residents have also asked about compensation from government, many blaming damage to their vehicles as a result of the potholes. Sweeting says there's a process for those who want to claim.
Persons do make applications to the ministry, and then the legal department would deal with it. And some persons, depending on whether the issue was because of the roads or not, but we do have a lot of potholes in the country, and I'm sure we had a lot of rims being bent, and I'm sure it'd be an excessive amount of claims, but the legal department would review it and then we'd move on from there.
It's now time for tonight's Financial Market Minute, brought to you by RF, your local investment bank. This has been your Financial Market Minute. To explore the best performing mutual funds in the Bahamas, visit our website at www.rfgroup.com.
Coming up in sports, the Caribbean Baseball Cup is underway, Bahamian basketball players in Europe, and primary school soccer comes to Exuma.
And Greg is back in the Weather Center with your extended forecast when our news returns. Stay with us.
Catch the Charlie Bahama Show this week where we have It's Your Girl Wendy. Either we're here or we're in New York.
Well, where you want us to be? I want to be there.
Let me put some in my mouth. I won't say nothing wrong. Anyway.
It's always so good to talk to you, Charlie. Oh my gosh.
Charlie Bahama Show every Friday night, 8 p.m. right here on Cable Bahamas Channel 212.
Up. Are you ready?
This November 5th, millions of Americans will decide in a race that will define history. Kamala Harris and Donald Trump in a fight to the finish.
Perhaps not since the Civil War has this great country felt as politically, spiritually, and emotionally divided as it does then at this moment.
The world is watching, and so are we. Starting November 3rd, Our News is live from the U.S. with a Bahamian perspective, because Our News is everywhere, always there when it counts.
Hey y'all, are you ready to be inspired? I am thrilled to announce that Inspire Her 2024 is coming, and it's going to be bigger and better than ever. Join us at the luxurious Atlantis Hotel Paradise Island on October 10th for an evening filled with inspiration, empowerment, and connection. The evening session promises to offer exclusive networking opportunities and transformative discussions. We invite everyone to attend and to be part of this incredible gathering. Hear from leading women activists, entrepreneurs, CEOs, thought leaders, and more as they share their stories, insights, and wisdom. Tickets are now available for purchase through the Alive Events app. Corporate packages and vendor opportunities are also available, providing a unique platform for businesses to showcase their support and connect with a diverse audience. Grab your girlfriends, mark your calendars for October 10th, and join us at the Inspire Her 2024 Women's Conference. See you there.
Welcome to Our Sports, presented by 10th year seniors. I'm Ronaldo Dorset. That's John Mark Nutt. Let's do show. The top senior men's national teams in the region are in the capital right now for the 6th Caribbean Baseball Cup. This week, the Bahamas, who's ranked number 47 by the World Baseball Softball Confederation, will host number 9 ranked and defending champions Cuba, number 12 ranked Dominican Republic, number 26 ranked and 2-time champion Curacao, number 66 ranked U.S. Virgin Islands, and St. Martin. The opening ceremony is tonight, and immediately following the pomp and pageantry we all love, Team Bahamas will hit the field to take on USVI in the nightcap. Tournament play is a single round robin, and after 5 games, the 3rd and 4th place finishers will play for bronze, while the first 2 teams will compete for the title on October 28th. On Thursday, the Bahamas faces St. Martin, followed by matchups against Curacao on Friday, Cuba on Saturday, and the Dominican Republic on Sunday. Each game for Team Bahamas will be played at 7 p.m. Deshaun Knowles returns for his 2nd appearance in the Caribbean Cup.
It's a new team, young team. It's a lot of new faces, so we just go there, have fun, and just play baseball. You know, we all grew up playing baseball. This ain't nothing new. It's a blessing to play here on our own home turf in front of family and friends. So I just hope we come out. Well, we gonna come out with the win. You know what I mean, with the cup.
Kentwan Smith highlighted an active week for Bahamian hoopers across Europe. In Cypher Opera's Basket League, Smith had 25 points, 13 rebounds, 5 block shots, and a perfect day from the field to lead Anatharsis to a 94-74 win over Apoel. He shot 6 from 6 from the field, including 3 for 3 from beyond the arc, and was 4 for 4 from the free throw line. Over in Spain's first league, Travis Munnings nearly had a perfect day for Fren Labarda in the 94-74 win over Costello. He finished with 12 points on perfect shooting from the field and added 8 rebounds. His only miss of the day came at the free throw line, where he shot 3 for 4. On to a pair of first-year players in Spain's second league. Garvin Clark finished with 9 points and 5 assists for Godella in the 84-83 loss to Benicarlo. Franco Miller Jr. finished with 11 points and 6 rebounds off the bench for Palmer in the 85-62 loss to Gran Canaria.
School sports in Exuma had a milestone moment when the island hosted its first ever primary school soccer tournament. Georgetown Primary School emerged as champions in the inaugural event, hosted at the Ellen Coakley High School grounds in Moss-Town. Head coach Devin Johnson's team defeated St. Andrews Primary 2-0 in the championship game. Other participating teams included Moss-Town Primary and Exuma Christian Academy. Bahamas Football Association executives said the tournament is a part of its ongoing efforts to grow the sport in the Family Islands. Last month, BFA Technical Director Bruce Swan visited Exuma, where 8 local coaches earned their D-license certificates, making a significant step toward the island's football development. The BFA also looks to build on the success of this event and expand further initiatives in other Family Islands. That'll do it for our sports. This is 10YS. Okay, we gotta get out of here. We gotta get to the stadium. Fatherhood is calling.
Kyson playing tonight?
He look like he is.
So he'll be on the field.
Back to the studio.
When our news comes back from the break, warm temperatures in the capital on this Wednesday. Greg is back with your extended weather forecast when our news continues. Stay with us.
Good, my loyal viewers. Ronaldo Dorset of 10YS here. First of all, thanks so much for watching, but be sure to hit that follow button. If you'd like to see more content like this, follow all of the Our News social media pages, and of course, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the top stories from the team, well, from the teams you already trust.
My name is Troy Williams. I've been a Live Fiber customer since March 2024. The installation process was seamless, effortless, and extremely fast. The gentlemen that came to the installation were very helpful, reliable, very knowledgeable, and the time allocated to do the installation was shorter than the time specified. Yeah, the previous provider I had, I noticed that the internet speed actually had intermittent on the services, so I was very grateful that the live fiber was available in my area. Once I was able to make the switch, my service and everything I needed was satisfied. My favorite feature would actually be being able to add any apps from the Play Store. It's just basically making any dumb TV a smart TV. I do a lot of back-end support, engineering support, helping clients working remotely when I'm from home. The internet is a very important aspect of my job and my life. My name is Trey Williams, and the future is home with a live fiber.
When hurricanes and emergencies strike, timely information can save lives. That's why Alive Business brings you bulk SMS messaging, your essential tool for staying informed and safe. Imagine having critical updates and safety tips delivered right to your phone, anytime and anywhere. With bulk SMS messaging, you can send real-time alerts and updates and timely notifications. When every second counts, count on Alive Business bulk SMS messaging. For more information, contact the experts. Are you ready for the stormy season? Don't wait until the storm clouds gather. Contact the experts at Alive Business today and let us help you prepare for this hurricane season. For a limited time only, you can get...
Welcome back. Oscar is dead and the Atlantic is disturbance-free right now. The remnants of Oscar is racing off towards the northeast, providing some showers and possibly even some isolated thunderstorms. Bermuda, tail end of that, some moisture still lingering near the southeast Bahamas could generate a couple of isolated showers down there, but Oscar is actually on the backside of that, providing a very dry air mass to invade the islands, and we're looking for some very nice conditions over the next couple of days. It's going to remain a little windy for at least another 24 hours before the winds start to fall off, but we expect those winds to pick back up once again on the weekend, mainly for the central and southeast Bahamas. Caution flag in place for you boaters out there in the Atlantic. We show that in our boating forecast, but the remainder of the tropics quiet. National Hurricane Center will be watching the southwestern Caribbean for the possibility of a low forming in that area, and that won't be until next weekend. So we have quite a time frame in which we will have not much in terms of anything happening out there in the open Atlantic. Future forecast showing dry air mass in place, just some spotty showers in the forecast over the next couple of days. They will be fast moving for the next 24 hours, but by Friday we expect an increase in some moisture across the extreme northern islands, and dry air mass will remain in place. So it's going to be very nice. Get outside and enjoy. Boating forecast for all areas. Small craft, use caution mainly in the Atlantic waters. Your winds will be out of the northeast at 10 to 15 knots, seas 2 to 4 feet, but up to 6 feet in northeasterly swells. Low tide is at 8:06 tonight. The high tide is at 1:59 in the morning. Here's a look now at your national forecast. In your extended forecast, nice conditions over the next couple of days, some spotty showers in the forecast, but temperatures will be very comfortable. They should be in the mid to upper 80s. We're not anticipating any of those heat indices. Nighttime temperatures will be a very comfortable mid 70s, so it's going to be nice for the next couple of days. And of course, we are winding down the Atlantic hurricane season. That's a look at our weather. Back to you, Italia.
All right, thanks so much, Greg. Well, I see things start to warm up and skies are pretty clear, but come Monday, I see some rain in the forecast again. What's happening there?
Yeah, we may get a weak front come down. That won't be until about Saturday, Sunday, but it's going to fall apart before it even gets here, so we're going to stick a couple of showers in the forecast. And we're starting to see those fronts come down, so looks as though we're going to be starting, winter season?
Okay, so the fronts are back.
Yeah.
All right.
We're going to keep those
I need that Christmas cold to come, Greg. It's too hot. It's way too hot.
Should be nice.
All right. Thanks so much, Greg. Well, with that, we thank you for joining us for our news tonight. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Italia Hall. We'll see you tomorrow night. Have a great evening. Hi, and thank you for watching. I'm Italia Hall. Be sure and hit that like and subscribe button if you want to see more content like this. Click right over here. And don't forget to turn on your notifications to see more content from the team you already trust.